Yo, what is up, guys? It's Pedro here, and the Washington Commanders just made some more moves, including placing fourth-round rookie Braeden Daniels on IR, which means he'll be out for the entire season. I'll explain that and the other moves in the rest of the video. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and that notification bell as well, so you never miss a video. So the big move was the Washington Commanders placing fourth-round rookie Braeden Daniels on IR, which will end his season. But let's go over some of the other moves they made just quickly, and then we'll get into the Braeden Daniels thing. So they released Zion Bowens, we talked about earlier, Milo Eifler, DeMarcus Fields, Farad Gardner, Joshua Kalu, Marcus Kemp, Isaiah Mack, Anthony Montalvo, Aaron Montero, Jarrett Patterson, Joshua Pryor, and DJ Sturgis. We talked about, I think, all of these moves except for Milo Eifler, that just happened right now, but all the other moves were announced before, so none of these, players being released were a surprise in my opinion. Jarrett Patterson, it's unfortunate that he's, released. He's a fan favorite. Everyone loves him, and he's a good player, but we were expecting that with them drafting Chris Rodriguez, and they like Jonathan Williams over him anyways, so it wasn't, it was sad but expected. Braeden Daniels, though, this was something that I talked about actually on Mason's podcast yesterday, and I'll try to link it in the description so you guys can see it. I said I thought this is what the Commanders should and possibly would do, is put Braeden Daniels on IR. I didn't hear anyone else say it, and I just thought, okay, this guy is clearly not ready for the start of the season, but he's a developmental guy who you drafted in the 4th round. So it's not an early pick, but it's also not like a 6th, 7th round pick. And even those you try to keep on your roster. So I was like, okay, what's the solution? Well, try to make up some type of injury, put him on IR. And if you did not know, if you are put on IR before the final 53-man rosters are finalized tomorrow, then you are out for the entire season. They did this with Curtis Hodges last year, with some other guys as well. So it's a way that you can stash a player and keep him from being taken or signed by another team, and without actually having him on your roster. So this is a good move, I think, for the Commanders. Braeden Daniels wasn't ready, and even if he didn't have a great offseason, but even if he had a solid offseason, he probably wasn't playing year one, just because, again, he was expected to be a project player. So obviously it's not encouraging that they're putting him on IR, but it gives him another year to get ready before he actually plays. If next year we're in a similar situation where he's working with the threes and not really, impressing that much, okay, then that's when we start to get an issue. But I think this is a good move by the Commanders, putting Braeden Daniels on IR, ending his season, which is unfortunate for him. I'm not sure if anyone knows the rules, if he can practice or not with the team. I think he can be in the facilities. Again, though, not sure if he can practice with the team or not. But this opens up the possibility of, either just keeping 9 offensive linemen, which is what they could do, or they could, and then if they kept 9 offensive linemen, then they'll either, keep Alex Arma, or they will keep another receiver or another linebacker. So that's the thought there. Or they could keep 10 offensive linemen and keep Trent Scott, Alex Akimbulu, or Jared Jones-Smith. I think they'll probably keep Trent Scott. So my, official 53-man roster projections, everything I did yesterday except for sticking with Trent Scott, and then Braeden Daniels is on IR. So that's my revised prediction, because I did put Braeden Daniels on IR, meaning he will not make the team because of the whatever injury it is. I'm sure eventually it'll come out what injury it was. It's definitely something minor, because I think he played in the game. Almost all these guys are banged up a little bit, so there's definitely something that they can come up with to put him on IR, and then he's out for the year. And so apparently, wow, so just as I'm saying that, let's go to the tweet from John Keim, and there we go. So he suffered a torn rotator cuff in the preseason finale. So I guess it's not them making up an injury. It's a real injury, and it sucks for him, but I think this works well for both sides. Braeden Daniels is able to stay here for the rest of the year, and the Commanders are also able to keep him for another year and develop him. So unfortunate for him with the torn rotator cuff, because I mean, I've never had that, but I'm sure it's not great, and it's going to take a while, a couple months probably at least to recover, 2 to 3 months, but it should be something that he's fine with. But the only bad thing with that is it is a serious enough injury where he won't be able to get as much development as he, would be able to if, let's just say, it was like a sprained ankle or something, or, it's something like that. But still, though, I think this was the right move for the Commanders to make, even if Braeden Daniels didn't have a torn rotator cuff. And I don't know what they would have done. I don't know what they would have done if he wasn't injured, if they would have just kept him or still try to find a way to put him on IR. I think that is okay. And the other thing I want to talk about, the Cardinals did release Colt McCoy, which is an interesting decision for sure, because I think he is better than Joshua Dobbs, who they just traded for. He will likely be the starter, or Clayton Thorne, I believe that's who or Thornton, their rookie quarterback that they drafted. Either one of those, I'd rather play them than Colt McCoy. And, Josh Dobbs, the Commanders got a good look at him in the, preseason game against the Browns. He went 8 for 16, 77 yards, and an interception. So, hey, if the Commanders don't beat the Cardinals, then I don't know what to say. And this is a good week, and it's still a NFL team, so there's no easy given games, but this is as easy as you are going to get in the NFL. A team like the Cardinals, where they're not going to have Kyler Murray, they don't have DeAndre Hopkins anymore, they really don't have any studs. Like, Budda Baker's good, they've got a couple other solid players, but they don't got any studs, so we should be able to beat them. And Terry, hopefully can get some rest in there. And yeah, I mean, whoever the quarterback is, we should be able to beat them for sure. And yeah, gives Terry the rest. And hopefully, if he's able to rest and we're able to win, then Terry's at close to 100% or 95% for week 2 against the Denver Broncos. And if we, I don't think obviously I think we should, blow them out. But, if we don't win by more than 10, I'm not going to go crazy, because again, it is the NFL and anything can happen, but we have to win. So if that's by 7, by 10, by 21, it is what it is. I would prefer us to win by 21 and be able to play some of the lower tier guys at the end, give them some reps, guys that are young. Like, maybe you can, if you're winning by a lot, you can put KJ Henry in at the end, give him some reps. Maybe you can put, Quan Martin in a little bit. So that would be something that, would help out the Commanders a lot in the long run in terms of developing guys for sure. So it just better be a win. It better be a win. And let's see. John Keim just said something. I want to go ahead and look at that. Let's see what he said. So he said, with Deshaun Harris still on the roster heading into Tuesday, will be interesting to see if they keep 4 or 5 linebackers. Likely depends on if they keep 10 or 11 D linemen and who they feel like they can keep in the practice squad. I think they'll keep 11 D linemen. I think they should, but 4. They don't need to keep 5 linebackers. Keep 4, and you can bring back either Deshaun Harris or Milo Eifler, or not Milo Eifler. Well, yeah, if you want Milo Eifler or Deshaun Harris back onto the team. I don't think those guys are getting claimed, so you're going to have your option out of 3 guys to pick one of those 3 to come back. And I mean David Mayo, they'll keep him. They'll keep David Mayo, but he could still get released and pick him up. But I think Jamin Davis, Cody Barton, and Khalid Hudson are locks, and then David Mayo's probably making it, and then John Harris would be their 5th guy. Maybe ahead of Mayo as the 4th guy, but I doubt it, and they'll probably cut him, maybe bring him back though. But yeah, that's kind of it. They made a decent amount of moves. You guys can see all of them on the screen here. Look at my other videos for my reaction on Jarrett Patterson and then Marcus Kemp and some of the other guys. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace.